Hey everybody, I'm Kim Morrow, Director of Climate Planning and Resilience at Verdis Group. And today I just wanted to share how excited I am about the progress that the City of Lincoln is making since we finished their climate action plan in early 2021. I actually wasn't even planning to do a video on this topic, but I got out of a meeting last week with the Mayor's Environmental Task Force in Lincoln, and I just felt so excited that I wanted to tell you about it. So we worked on the climate action plan for the city of Lincoln, Nebraska through 2019 and 2020. And it was adopted by the city council in March of this year, 2021. And so at this recent meeting, I heard them reporting on a year-end update on the progress that they've made. And I was so excited to see how much progress they've made in such a short period of time. Not only that, but the city is collaborating with Lincoln Public Schools, which is our only district in Lincoln, and with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, our local university, to scale up so that they can make even more progress. And when you add it all together, it's really remarkable what's going on. So I wanted to just share a few updates on the awesome work going on in Lincoln. So first of all, some of the things that the city is doing. One of our main recommendations in the climate action plan was that the city really needs to prioritize identifying a second water source for the city. Currently, there's only one water source, and it was heavily impacted by some major flooding that happened in 2019. And that kind of flooding is predicted to occur more frequently due to the impacts of climate change. So obviously, a water source for a city of 300,000 people is of paramount importance. And the city is advancing those conversations. They're already advancing to the federal level, working with our congressional delegation, looking at local resources and ways to approach finding that second water source. There are lots of options. It's just a matter of deciding which one. The second thing they're doing is they have created a Salt Creek Resiliency Task Force, and that has to do with a creek, Salt Creek, that runs through downtown Lincoln, is also at high risk of flooding in the future. And so they've gone ahead and created a task force to look into all the issues surrounding that floodplain and what options may be to improve resiliency on that. So I was so happy to see that moving forward. The third thing is they are really moving forward on a lot of sustainable agriculture initiatives, and there's a lot of energy around this, a lot of excitement among a diverse cross-section of people in Lincoln. The city actually owns a lot of land, some of which they lease to farmers currently, and they've already changed their contracts so that those tenant farmers are required now to use regenerative agriculture practices in their farming, which is an incredible shift. The city is also working on a carbon management plan where they're assessing all the opportunities they have to sequester carbon in the city and to increase the amount of carbon they sequester locally. And then finally, they're already working on transitioning the fleet vehicles that the city owns to either electric or lower emitting vehicles. So all that is really fantastic. And then also Lincoln Public Schools was part of this presentation, and they announced some of the things that they've been working on incredible sustainability measures for quite some time. It's a large district of 42,000 students, comprising 7.3 million square feet of space. And they've made a lot of accomplishments already, especially in their waste diversion, which is 54% now. They've made huge strides in diverting food waste for composting, diverting construction waste, which is really admirable. But one thing that's really cool is that we at Verdis Group advised Lincoln Public Schools about 2 years ago maybe, on how they're building 2 new high schools. And at the time, we advised them on some extra sustainability measures that they could incorporate in the construction of these 2 new high schools. Now, sure enough, the schools are under construction, and we got to see a sneak preview of some of the sustainability features these 2 new high schools are going to incorporate. And sure enough, they include things like bioretention cells to help with the potential flooding on site. They include EV chargers. They actually include preserved wetlands on site, solar panels, green roofs, permeable pavement, tons of awesome stuff. And I'm sure it doesn't even end there. And then thirdly, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln has created their own climate and resilience plan, which is incredible. And there are tons of overlaps between their plan and what the city has done. And then not only that, but these three entities, the City of Lincoln, Lincoln Public Schools, and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln have created a kind of collective where they can work together to collaborate on EV conversion, fleet conversion, purchasing of sustainable products, and on and on and on. So that they're just scaling up their efforts to work together to create a huge impact. In addition to all that, I keep hearing about other projects that have been spawned from the Climate Action Plan. And, since the Climate Action Plan is a public document, it's available, anyone can look at it, anyone can generate new projects based on it, and that's exactly what's happening. So I keep hearing about school groups that are working on projects based on the Climate Action Plan. There are actually high school student group now is tending a hydroponic growing facility that grows fresh greens in a vertical system designed with special LED lights. And the greens that they grow are sold to local restaurants. So that's an incredible program that was partly inspired by the Climate Action Plan. I keep hearing about church groups that are starting initiatives to see how they can contribute to sequestering more carbon through tree planting. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of other initiatives going on in town that we don't even know about, that the Climate Action Plan has just spawned all kinds of new projects for people in a decentralized way. But what is perhaps the most exciting thing that has come out of Lincoln's Climate Action Plan is that they have inspired the city of Omaha to produce their own Climate Action Plan. And the word on the street is that the city of Omaha will be releasing an RFP for that in the first quarter of 2022. And Verdis Group is already getting our plans in place to tackle that project, assuming we have the opportunity to do that. So it's just really remarkable and gratifying to see the kind of climate progress that is happening in our corner of the state, due in part to the hard work that Verdis Group puts in every day. And we're excited to see more of it. So if you haven't developed a climate action plan or a net zero emissions pathway for your organization or your city, and you're interested in learning more, please check out our free downloadable available at verdisgroup.com. And you can find out a lot more information about all the work we do on verdisgroup.com. So to everyone who's watching, please keep up the great work to save our planet and have a wonderful week. Thank you.